Did you take in everything that we talked about here already?
Oh, yeah.
And when you raised your hand, was it about what you were thinking about before you got here?
No.
Or what you were thinking about after you got here?
After.
Perfect.
It was kind of about what you said about it's the way you feel and the outcome that tell you. And it's interesting because
you've got to learn vibration. You must get conscious control and awareness of what you are vibrationally broadcasting, because that equals your life. So if you don't know what you're broadcasting, then you cannot possibly accurately predict an outcome. A lot of pessimists are accurately predicting outcome. And a lot of optimists are accurately predicting outcome. So we just want to say, your thoughts matter, but what matters more is your awareness of how the thoughts feel when you think them or speak them. That's the only way you're ever going to have control of your own experience.
So sometimes I feel great.
Yeah?
Sometimes not so much.
Yeah?
And
so you're a sloppy thinker.
Well, and it's funny because I wouldn't define myself as that, but I must be.
Well, we're just mostly having fun with you.
Oh, me too.
But we want to get your attention.
Yeah.
In other words, sometimes I feel good and sometimes I don't feel so good. And we say, well, you already said, sometimes I think thoughts that don't feel good and sometimes I think thoughts that do feel good. And so then we want to say, then just think the thoughts that feel good. Okay, next. And you say, but wait, sometimes the thoughts that don't feel good are hard not to think. And we say, that's only because you let momentum go. So get up in the morning and think good thoughts longer. In other words, it really is an exercise. It's like practicing an exercise until your attraction muscle is the way you want it to be. There's nothing else to say about it, because what you want to say, here's the way to look at this. So here's the premise that we want you to accept, and we can feel that you mostly have. So this receptive mode that feels so good, when an idea comes to me from that mode, it plays out so beautifully. When I'm flying high and I get the impulse to hire someone, oh man, they're better than I even knew they were going to be. When I'm in trouble, when I'm overwhelmed and the impulse comes to hire someone, not so good of an experience. And you can apply that to every single experience in your life. So when you acknowledge that how you feel when you take action results in an outcome that is consistent with the way you felt at the beginning. So that is the thing that we want you to know. If it's the only thing that you ever heard from us or anyone, it's the only thing that you would ever need to know, because you create your reality, and how you feel matters, period. We don't have to keep saying it again, but we will, over and over and over again. But what is most of the world talking about? Most of the world, oh, we love you all so much. Most of the world is talking about what's created from this that didn't feel good. So they've got these outcomes they don't like, and all the books and all the conversation, everything's talked about what was created from there. Nobody's talking about, I could be here and solve everything. Instead, they say, but I was here and I created this. What do you think about this? What do you think about this? Look at this. Look at this. Look at this financial condition. Look at this physical condition. Look at this political condition. Look at this economic condition. Look at this. 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 Let's talk about what can we do now we've created it. How can we fix it? And we say, you can't. You can't keep looking there and do anything other than perpetuating more of that. Can you feel the sort of craziness that we feel about the way most are approaching it, when all you got to do is just for a little while think here, and if you can't think here, don't get up. If you can't go to work and feel good, then for a little while don't go to work. If you got a friend and you can't think there, then don't be with that friend. In other words, let this matter so much, because this is leverage beyond anything that we can describe. This is the energy that creates worlds that you're tapping into. So when you decide, I can do this. I can practice good feeling thoughts until they become my habit of thought. I can practice optimism until it becomes the way I look at life. Because you can spend decades, and many do, and generations, and many have been spent, talking about this stuff that's been created from this place, and there's no point in having that conversation anymore. You're not ever going to solve it. Ever, 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 ever. What are we going to do about all of these problems? What are we going to do about all of these problems? Take your attention from them and they will cease to exist. Oh, Abraham, that doesn't seem logical. Well, it's because you haven't tried it. You keep perpetuating it, and you've convinced yourself that that's the way it has to be. And yet every now and again, an idea comes, you're tuned in, you follow it out, and you go, wow, that was magic. You call that magic, and you call this reality. And we call this unnecessary and this normal. And you call this normal, and we call this normal. And you call this the way it is, and we call this the way it is. We have different opinions of how to spend your time and what to think about and how you want to feel and how it all plays out. And there is not one exception in all of the universe to what we just said. Not one. So it sort of makes you want to say, sometimes I feel good and sometimes I don't feel good. And I know exactly what to do about it. Abraham, it was really nice visiting with you. I'm going to go get on with doing what I have to do because nobody else can do it for me. Yeah? Rather than having a conversation about this.
Yeah, pointless.
Yeah.
Is there an easier way to affect the emotion part a little?
The easiest thing we know is to catch the momentum in the early stages and to be aware. Be aware matters most, and not beat up on yourself when you're in the middle of negative emotion. Just try to talk yourself off the ledge. Do your best to give yourself the benefit of the doubt. Be nice to yourself. That helps a lot. But the easiest way to get here and stay here, or to be consistently there, is to realize that when you wake up in the morning, that's your best shot, because while you slept, the momentum subsided. And so it's much more likely for you to get hold of something that feels good and carry it out. And sometimes, Esther and friends had about 11 days together a few days back, and for 11 days they were riding right here, and it was so interesting to watch everything yield to them. Parking place, they were all over San Diego County, all over the place, and they never went anywhere, and they went 100 places that they didn't park right in front of where they wanted to be. It's like the universe cooperates. And how does that happen? Your impulse to go this way, your impulse to go this way, the amount of time you take moving through, your timing. Timing is everything. And since the source within you knows where you want to be and where you are and where everything else in the universe is in relationship, and knows what things are active and what things have to do with you and what things don't have anything to do with you, there is this universal orchestration on the biggest things and the smallest things that have to do with you. And once you get tuned into that, you will become addicted to connection. You will become addicted to being in the receptive mode, and nothing else will do. And after a while, after a few hours or minutes or days or weeks of experiencing life treating you that way in response to what you've got going on vibrationally, after that happens, the first time you have a little negative thought, you go, whoa, 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 whoa. You are the enemy. You will take me down. I know you will. If I allow myself to focus on you, because law of attraction is so not choosing sides. Any thought you activate, law of attraction will jump right in and make it more. So it really is about thinking and feeling and thinking and feeling and noticing what comes and saying, hey, I like that. And after a while, you'll gather around you those who only want to talk about good things, who want to talk about the good things in life until most people who are listening in are gagging. They just can't believe they're sitting next to you in the restaurant and they heard the bunch of you talking about how good this food is so many times that they want to kill you, each and every one of you. You're talking about the light, you're talking about the twinkles, you're talking about the sunset, you're talking about the air, talking about the fragrance, you're talking about how comfortable the seat is, you're talking about how much you love each other. There's so much to talk about that most people never talk about or rarely talk about because they want to talk about real things like problems. That's how. And you never run out of good things to talk about. And then there is the repeat factor. Remember that time? Remember that time when you said that and we all laughed and then everybody laughs again? It's like it just happened for the first time. Just reactivate that wonderful moment when everyone was brilliant and everyone was right on key. Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. And you know, when you get your own little merry band of 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 going around like that, the entire universe of merry bands joins you, and you all become brilliant, and your timing all becomes good, and you just have this wonderful time. That's the way it is supposed to be. And if we were standing in your physical shoes or sitting in your physical fannies, probably a bad word somewhere, we would only talk about what we want. Get out. Really enjoyed this. Very helpful. Very helpful.